one place higher, as they're not a real club.
I suppose I'd better start to consider them a real team if we get the 3 from them then. Okay.
Nah, bleep off, MK. You're not winning because you're not a real football club.
Hashtag MK Dons fans in the end have been remarkable today. Not stop chanting. Fantastic stuff.
Always be crap franchise in an area full of village idiots.
Drop the Dons. Hope the franchise get relegated.
You stole a team. Disgusting. A nothing club.
Pathetic team supported by fools.
Support your local team and not a franchise. But what do you do if your local team is a franchise?
Hope you're relegated. Drop the Dons.
All your supporters must be kids, as no one with any idea about football would go to watch a franchise. Arsenal!
Wishing 91 genuine league clubs all the best for forthcoming season.
A deeply antagonistic customer base. Rebel in Wimbledon supporter herd won't back honourable thing of dropping the Dons.
Priceless.
Forecast. All room forecast, forecast. All room forecast. All room forecast, forecast. All room forecast. All room forecast, forecast.
We know how difficult it is to plan ahead without accurate forecasting, so we're proud to support the Bovril Forecast, brought to you by those lovely people at Forecast, telling the future one cup at a time. And the forecast for this week is tasting delicious, right at the top.
This is Secular Sounds. Join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour in the company of Harry and Edna on the Wires, exploring all aspects of the vintage scene and playing tip-top gramophone tunes. Harry and Edna on the Wireless, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on secularsounds.org. Jolly good.
You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show here on Secular Sounds, and we're rather pleased about that. And we're going to talk briefly about a new world, a new shining light in football televisual entertainment.
Said no one ever.
Yeah, the Football Tonight show on Channel 5. I would like to applaud the producers of that show, because that is a work of art. To get something that nobody would want to watch.
Do you remember the word that used to be on Friday night?
I do. Terry Christian.
There you go. I'm saying nothing else. We should get Terry Christian and the Jesus and Mary Chain into that show, because they couldn't make it any worse than it was. It was
I would watch it if Terry Christian was on Football League Tonight.
It was terrible, wasn't it? I couldn't make head nor tail of what was going on. 1 minute you're in the Championship, then you're zooming across to League One, then start at the top, work your way to the end. That's how it's
the only thing that they don't want it to be too similar to the Football League show, but you just don't do that. And the bit that summed it up perfectly for me was when Martin Allen came on, the geezer, whatever his bloody name is, said, talk me through this. And it took a 5-second awkward silence, and then he said, well, what do you want me to say? I think all of us at that point were thinking exactly the same thing. What can we possibly say about this programme? It was bleep.
Was there any good bits in it
yes,
for anyone?
It doesn't have Steve Claridge.
Yeah, I agree.
But there were times when I was watching it and thinking, you know what? I'd really like Steve Claridge to be...
God, that's how bad it was.
I was watching that thinking, you know what, our show ain't so bad after all of that. It made me feel quite proud of this one, because I reckon we do a better job sometimes.
I genuinely watched about the first 5 minutes and then just fast forwarded to when we were on, and I just naturally assumed that we would be the first team on it.
What it struck me as would be if Match of the Day was moved on to ITV, and then they'd done it from the best games. They normally leave they do the best games to the worst games, so the 0-0s at the end, etc. The 0-0s first, but they play the goals in different order. So the fourth goal will go in, they'll say it's 7-0 to Manchester United, and then the third, by the time the third goal's coming about, and say, oh, that's a great goal, United have taken the lead. It just doesn't make sense. You do not do that. You don't be sat there watching Championship teams, Brentford, etc., and then you're suddenly watching Gillingham against Sheffield United. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Talking to the audience who didn't have mics.
I know.
Right.
That was so, and you could tell the producers were saying, stop asking them questions. We can't hear their answer. And she was saying, well, I can. But that's not it. Genuinely, the thing that frustrates me is, you can see that format works perfectly well if it's not the only opportunity you have to watch those games.
Oh, yeah.
If it's the Prem where you can see thousands of hours of it everywhere you look, that works, and your Soccer AM thing works and everything like that.
Of course.
But in this world, what we need to see is the games. I want to see the goals. I want to see more than 15 seconds of my team, and I want to have them, someone sum it up in a few tasteful
It's Channel
words.
5 though. They're going to move it to the Big Brother house.
Yeah.
Is it an hour long?
It's 90 minutes. No, 80 minutes long.
More
Felt
than
longer
you got
than that.
adverts, haven't you, I
Yeah,
suppose?
yeah, it did feel like longer than that. I mean, what do we got? There's 40 odd matches. Is there in the Football League? I don't know.
Oh, something like a good.
36 matches, and you've got 80 odd minutes of time. There's a formula in this. Give them 2 minutes each.
Yeah, don't be throwing us betting odds and there's websites for betting odds.
And people holding up bits of cardboard with odds and things on it.
A blue
It's like-
1970s Blue Peter style league table.
I wish I'd watched it now. It sounds all right.
It sounds great when you describe it, but not when you're living it. I was watching it live, so I couldn't fast forward through it, and it was just painful.
God's honest, right? I know this sounds like a bit of a rubbish
Yeah, it does.
comparison, but there's a film in the cinema currently called Fantastic Four, and it's getting awful reviews, and it's so bad that I want to pay £10 to go and see it. Gers, it is that bad, and you get the opportunity to watch it for free.
So bad.
Get home and get it on your box.
Watch
That
it.
sounds disgusting, but you get my
Watching it
point.
as soon as I go in.
Still, it's on the telly.
Get your
Robbo
box
will be
on.
on
Get
it
your
soon.
box on.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on a little bit. I'm feeling relatively in control of things right now. Let's see if we can muck it up in the last few minutes. What's left?
Well, I'll read this out, but this isn't what's going to happen, I can tell you that. In the remainder of the show, we might just be...
Sorry, that's all we have time for.
Right. We might
go
just
on.
be sitting to talking to a certain Mr. Carl Robinson. We won't be. We'll see just who loves Winky this week. We probably won't. We'll look forward to the next week's matches. We'll be doing that. How long we spend doing that will depend on how quickly I can read this, which is obviously not very fast. So your guess is as good as mine to what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. Stick with it. You never know. It might be all right.
This just in, Don's assistant manager Richie Barker today explained to a test press conference that he's looking forward to the challenge that will come from having players from whom English is not their first language in the dressing room. And management. Richie told the assembled throng that he expected the Spanish lads to learn English quickly, but then he also suggested that it would be important for the coaching staff to slow down when explaining the requirements to the team. When pressed by reporters, Rich then explained that he wasn't able to understand a single word that Robbo says when his excitement was anything above 3 out of 10, so he expected the whole team would benefit from such a stance too. More on this once we've got the English/Spanish dictionaries out and looked up the Spanish for Scouser.
Last texty things?
I have one from Julian Hanslope who says, the thing I'm loving most about the start of the season is that I have absolutely no idea what our starting lineup will or should be. Bring it on. Major General Huntley from Cosgrove says, not in my village, thank you very much, sir. So be gone off you. Manuel from Madrid says, look after our boys and stop with the easy naming cliches. Peter from MK1 says, what sort of trees do they have in Spain? And Trini from Rotherham says, is that all you've got? 449 fans from 4 goals? Rubbish. Easy for me to say.
It is indeed, yeah. Okay, we probably aren't going to have time for Winky's Love Bite or the Carl Robinson interview, which is a shame. But let's just talk briefly, because we've got a couple of matches coming up between now and when we will all meet again. To start off with, we have Preston at home on Saturday.
Beautiful.
What are we expecting?
I'm expecting us to sign George Moncur on loan for one game just to take the mick.
We're going. That would be. Classic.
That would be fantastic.
I've been trying to think of a song for him all summer,
that would be
and it just can't.
We
it
did
just
it
isn't
last
working.
week.
What?
I know.
I'm not an optimistic man, as most people know, but I genuinely think we'll beat them, and I think it will be 2-0 to us.
We're going to break our duck. Finally beat them.
I
Yeah,
really do.
I could see us. It's a Hey with the Monkeys.
Oh,
You didn't actually know we did this whole piece last week.
I remember it.
Slept through it.
Yes, fair enough. It wasn't very interesting. I can see us winning it. I can also see us coming crashing down to earth and getting torn one. But
Yeah.
no, I'm going to say I think there will be goals. I think we will concede and we will score. I am going to suggest we will win 3-2.
I've seen a bit of them
I
on
think
the
1-1.
telly at the weekend, and to be quite honest with you, to use sort of thing that a young person would say, I don't think they were all that on the telly, so I would...
You do sound like a young person when you say that, if I may say so.
I'm confident we'll beat them and it'll be 2-0 to us.
It's going to be 3-0.
Okay.
1-1.
All right, and then, if I'm not mistaken, as of Tuesday, we have the mighty Bolton playing a visit, don't we?
Yeah,
pretty
Rob
exciting.
Hall won't be able to play.
That's massive. Rob
Rob
Hall,
Hall won't be able to play. I'm weird. I've always liked Bolton. There was just something about them in the Premiership under Sam Allardyce I just loved. Just rubbish football, but nicking results and getting to cup finals and semi-finals, things like. Nobody liked them, but they were just great.
Yeah.
And now they're even worse. They're not playing that way under Sam Allardyce, and they're probably going to get relegated. And they haven't got Rob Hall, and we're probably going to beat them about 3-0. So it's going to be great.
because I can see it. I mean, this is going to be a test, I would think.
I think it will be a test, but I think
that proper test.
I think it's our first proper test, but I think if we're going to be beating teams in this division at home, that's the sort of team we should be beating. Then Blackburn, Leeds.
It's funny, the first few games are all 6-pointers because it's that little league within a league of all the teams at the bottom. I know it's.
I hate it, but it's apt. It's so right to
us,
use.
Rotherham, Preston, Bolton. You know, they're all contenders to go down.
Are we expecting Bolton to go down?
Yeah,
They're money troubles. Have not got a great squad.
Yeah.
I should probably do research and stuff like that, shouldn't I?
Nah, don't start doing that.
No.
I mean, whether they will or
Never
won't.
done me any harm making up.
Whether they will or won't is there to be said. But I think a lot of their fans are expecting them to be down. I don't think anybody's expecting to finish mid-table. Put it that way.
Brando, just remember that confidence beats research every time.
Every time, absolutely. Yeah.
Just say something and point your finger. Ah, go that. People
Yeah.
think, oh, he knows what he's on about, even though we can't understand him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we've got a couple of minutes. I'm just sort of. What sort of crowd are we expecting on Saturday?
I reckon it'll be busy.
Fragrance.
A good 12, 13,000.
I was going to say 15,000. That's what I'm
Nah, 12, 13,000, I reckon.
Because we've got our. Well, I would expect we'll have our traditional. Half of ours will still be on holiday, so I think.
Forgot about that.
We had 5,500 last night.
Yeah.
I only just got in for kick-off because the queues for buy tickets on the day were that big.
Yeah.
So I was really shocked by that. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Well,
if
our
it's 12,000.
cup games against Leeds opposition have gone up nearly 2,000, which is pretty decent. But I don't think 12, 13,000 for
We had more last night than we did for AFC.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I think 12, 13,000 against a team that would have been a League One fixture about 3 or 4 months ago. So I don't think that's a bad attendance at all.
No, it's
whatsoever. 7,000 season tickets I think we've sold. They'll bring about
7, yeah?
Yeah, they'll bring 1,500 ish, and there'll be a good few walk-ups, I reckon.
Will Modders be there?
No.
No, he's not up for He's not up for MK away.
He's not been in touch anywhere, has he? We'd had nothing on the text.
Your phone's been in there the whole day.
Has anyone been texting us? Because we've had the phone turned on. We are. No, I said earlier on. We were
Told you
as
it's a waste
professional
of
as
time
that
giving
show.
that number out.
I've just noticed just now.
I can't get back to it. Yeah, I'm sure it's right. No text anyway. Or if you have, we didn't see them.
Damn you, Rob from Westcroft.
And one question we haven't actually asked, and I'm just going to ask for this relatively quickly. Your prediction for the season. Where are we going to finish?
12th.
14.
I reckon, round about where you say I'll be.
I don't think we're a great team in this division, but I certainly think there are worse teams in there.
Yes, Rotherham.
Yeah,
I'd say 15th or 16th perhaps, but
I'd even take that. But what I think will happen will be 13th, 14th.
One of the big betting sites is still having us down as being playoffs, and they were saying that before. I mean, I just think that's ridiculous.
A lot of people think we have a big budget.
I've
Yeah,
never
that's
met a poor bookie. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
They misheard that. We've actually got a big budgie,
Oh, right.
which is. See, this is spontaneity. I mean, we will build.
Does she tweet in?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been the MooCamp Radio Show.
Modders, you're sacked. Listen, thanks ever so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time and your participation and all those things. How about that for timing? It's just this is slick and everything. This week's show was written by basically me because no one else bothered to get involved. Additional material from Gers, George Moncur, 2/3 of the population of Kingston and Jersey's new ponies. Coming up next week, we'll do other stuff. But for now, have a great weekend. Cheers all.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture and much more to 84,000 people every month. Plus news, views and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk.